Hi, everybody. This is Maxine Taylor with another look at Donald Trump. And I'm sure that between now and the inauguration, we will be taking several looks at Donald Trump. And I promise to keep you updated on any new information I get. At this point in time, I have still not heard from Marco Rubio's people with his birth time or John Kasich's people with his birth time. So the only candidates I'm able to look at are Hillary, Bernie, Donald, and Ted Cruz. If you go back to the first video that I made in August of 2015, I explain in detail why I use the diurnal chart. I explain what it does, and I pretty much told it the way I saw it then, and this is the way I see it now. Some of this is a repeat. Now, today is March 4th, 2016. We had another Republican debate last night. And the other thing that happened yesterday was that Mitt Romney came forward and pretty much lambasted Donald Trump. Laid out information as to what Donald was like, and with that information going on, and the division in the Republican Party itself, I thought I would go back and revisit the chart of the Republican National Convention for us. Shall we look at it again? Now, it's not the chart of the convention, but it is the diurnal for Donald Trump on that day. So, in my first video, I said that the convention began on the 17th of July. I misspoke. It begins on the 18th officially, although it probably begins 2 weeks before that, behind the scenes. With everybody lining up their votes and all that good stuff going on. And I think that's true of any convention. So the diurnal for Donald Trump, I'm going to give you the full 4 days. As you know, we need to find in a diurnal for somebody running for the highest office in the land. I look for 10th house activity, because the 10th house is the person's career, their public image. It's the leader. Naturally, you would expect that. Now, there are several things that can show up that indicate leadership. So this is the repeat performance, all right? I'm going to repeat a lot of what I said, but I'm going to interpret it just a teeny bit differently. There's something I did not say on my first video, which I'm going to say today. I hesitated to say it because I'm a reporter, an astrological reporter. I will give you my interpretation of things, but I am very careful not to put ideas out there because I take my responsibility as an astrological reporter very seriously. And I know what can happen when you say something. It can spread, and it can have a very strong effect on the country, on the people in the country. So I didn't say it then, but I'm going to say it now. So get ready. Here we go. Here is the chart, Donald Trump's chart, for the Republican National Convention. Now, I cast it for the 18th of July. I know I said the 17th on my first video, but it's the 18th. I obviously can't read. And so we start with the midheaven at 19 Gemini 34. I have left the degrees out, but the midheaven and all the other cusps move forward approximately 1 degree every single day, which tells us that on Tuesday, the second day of the convention, Trump has his natal north node, which is a very karmic placement. The nodes are not planets, they are karmic positions in the heavens. Right at the top of the chart, The North Node is the area of blessings. In a mundane chart, it's a very positive thing. However, down here, he has his natal South Node. In other words, he has to give up something. The South Node is the area of letting go or of loss. It doesn't have to be loss. This is a mundane interpretation. This is not the way I interpret a birth chart. So for those of you who are going to be having me read your chart, don't worry. I don't look at things negatively. I'm a very positive person because I think we're all marvelous. And that's how I read my charts. So the South Node is on his nadir, on the IC, on the fourth house cusp, the bottom of the chart, the end of things, the end of the matter. And so there is a letting go of what hasn't been working. All right. On Wednesday, as I said in my August video, his progressed Uranus is on the midheaven. The midheaven is the top of the chart. Uranus is the rebel. Uranus is the one that busts loose. And I said we can expect something unexpected from Donald Trump. And somebody wrote and said, well, of course we can. That's Donald Trump. Anybody could say that. Oh, yeah? Look at this chart. What this shows is a busting loose from his public image. All right. Let's look down here in the fourth house. On that very same day, his natal moon is on the nadir, the IC, the fourth house cusp. I'm glomping all those together. I know that the IC is not the same as the nadir, so I'll just call it the fourth house cusp, but whatever terms you use, I'm talking about that fourth house cusp. This is the end of matter, and the moon is family, the public. It does not bode well, traditionally, for someone running for a public office, because it indicates a change. Now, what might that change be? Let's finish this diurnal, and then I'll tell you what I think it could easily be. On Thursday, his natal sun is at the top of the chart, at the midheaven. The sun is the center of our solar system. It is the giver of life. And when you have the sun at the top of your diurnal, you are at the top of your game. You are at the top of your chart. So what, in the light of everything that has been going on now with the Republican Party, with the traditional Republican Party, how can I say this tactfully, not wanting Donald to be their representative, not wanting him to win the election, and his followers feeling entirely differently. This Uranus on the diurnal midheaven could very easily be Donald busting loose from the Republican Party and running on an independent ticket. As I said, I did not put that out there at the beginning, even though it crossed my mind. Well, it didn't cross my mind. It was right there in the front of my mind. But we do not know, I do not know how this is going to manifest. And I know that the Republican Party is very divided right now. And because of that, as an astrological reporter, I want to give you this information. Let me once again go back over to other charts that now start to make sense to me. Now, hang on, I've got charts all over the place. The election chart. If you are elected to the highest position in the land, it is logical to assume, and those of you who study astrology understand it, that there would be 10th house activity. There would be action at the top of the chart, because the top of the chart is your career, it's your public image, it's the position of leadership. In Donald Trump's election chart, he's got transiting Venus on election day, right behind the ascendant. Venus is love, it's joy, it is happiness, it's fulfillment, it's money, it's all good things. Venus being the lesser benefic. So when I saw this in the chart, I thought, well, this is a very egocentric win. There's nothing up here at the top of the chart saying he's the leader. He's taking this very, very personally. He's very happy. Now, does this mean he's going to win the election? That remains to be seen. However, if he runs as an independent, it makes sense then that he would take this as a strong gotcha to the Republican Party. And he would take it as a personal victory and be very fulfilled with it. So let's take a look one more time. And this is all in my August eclipse, August video, August 2015 video. I was thinking of the eclipse patterns. We'll talk about those in the future, but this simplifies it. Here is his inauguration diurnal. And Mars, which is passion and energy. And what comes first to us is 24 Pisces 18, the ascendant is 24 Pisces 22, pretty close. Pretty close. And I thought, again, and I said this on my first video, this is a real, I'm doing my thing my way, me. And a lot of people said to me, well, that's Trump. Well, if he runs on an independent ticket and wins and is inaugurated, you can certainly understand that Mars, me, on the ascendant. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. There will be more to come. I will keep you posted. Until next time, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours.